Hi, I'm David Pollandine, Director of Development in the Prairies for IJM Canada. And I'm back to give you some updates about how IJM's work of protecting the poor from violence is going as we are still navigating COVID-19 across the globe. Also, you'll see I'm looking very sporty today because I'll be interviewing Rob Gale, head coach from Valor FC here in Winnipeg, playing the CPL League, about what motivated him and Valor to get involved with IJM's All In for Freedom sweepstakes. And that actually finishes 11 p.m. this Friday, the 23rd of April. So do go on, check out the website, you'll see it at the end, and you can purchase loads of great prizes and experiences that athletes from across North America are offering. So IJM is protecting people in poverty from violence in three ways. First of all, with an immediate response, helping people affected by COVID-19 now. Secondly, with a near-term response, continuing to do investigations and rescues. And thirdly, a long-term response, partnering with governments to protect the poor from violence and slavery. So first of all, for an immediate response, helping people affected by COVID-19 now. And for that, we're going to Guatemala. On March the 16th, 2021, the Guatemalan Institute for Victim Care and Assistance, the IAV, which is an acronym for its Spanish name, Instituto de la Víctima, celebrated 6 months of restoring survivors of violence through its model of holistic assistance for victims, a trauma-informed model co-created by the government of Guatemala and IJM. In the first 6 months of the model's implementation, the IAV supported 4,647 survivors of violence, providing free legal counselling and representation, psychological support, and securing 117 convictions. In addition to providing holistic assistance for victims, the IAV has a mandate to review, approve, and advise on national policies that support victims, contributing to the prevention of crime and reduction of re-traumatisation. This is a gigantic achievement, especially when you consider this has happened in the backdrop of COVID-19. Secondly, for a near-term response, that's continuing to do investigations and put on rescue operations. And for this, we're going to Ghana. A 14-year-old boy was rescued by local authorities from suspected slavery on Lake Volta. IJM and partners supported the police and social welfare as they arrested the suspected trafficker and brought the boy to safety. The boy told authorities that he'd worked on the lake, setting bamboo and basket traps and collecting fish from dawn until the afternoon since he was 10 years old. Meanwhile, as he woke up early to work, the children of the fishermen who enslaved him would of course head off to school. He's now studying at a shelter where he's receiving aftercare services and looking forward to going back to school. He says he's happy that he was rescued, and he hopes that other children who are experiencing the same conditions will also be rescued. So thirdly, for a long-term response, partnering with governments to protect the poor from violence and slavery. And for that, we're going to focus on a very special relationship with a policewoman in the Dominican Republic. In her 30 years of service as an officer in the Dominican National Police, Colonel Francia Hernandez has proven to be a woman of steel and diamond. Colonel Hernandez is not only an authority on the issues of human trafficking in the Dominican Republic, but one of the main allies of IJM in the rescue of victims and the prosecution of criminals. IJM's work is characterised by partnerships, and this is made up of hundreds of individuals across the world, just like Colonel Francia Hernandez. This makes the work of justice both effective and long-lasting. We're at the end of our final week of IJM's All In for Freedom sweepstakes. And athletes have donated items and experiences to send rescue to people experiencing violence and slavery around the world. Valor FC, Winnipeg's professional Canadian Premier League soccer team, have probably provided the most creative experience across the whole of North America. And I sat down with head coach Rob Gale to find out about what motivated him to get involved and what he's offering.
Yeah, so for the winner of the IJM raffle and sweepstakes, the Valor experience is an opportunity to come to the ground as a guest of myself and the staff. We will welcome you to the stadium. give you a behind the scenes look at everything we do and a unique first hand access. Be able to come and watch a training session live, right down at pitch level, be amongst it with us as a group and a staff. Spend some time on the field and meet everybody, meet all the players, and get a real unique experience that that most people in the general public or even supporters wouldn't get to see and hear firsthand. And we'll be delighted to host you and really make you a part of the group for the day. And if it's like you say, if it's a mum who wants to bring her daughter, or a dad who wants to bring his son, or any combination of those, and make a family event of it, we'll be delighted to welcome you and make it a special experience for everybody. I mean, as you know, look, Winnipeg is a close knit community, and when it was reached out through a friend to us, it did hit home. We have gone through amazing, crazy times in this last year as a world, and it just shows how small the world is. This pandemic has proved that more than ever. And when we were tackling social injustice issues and everything that went through, and dealing with everybody's mental health through this and everything, there's something in it that says, you know what, like, we can help here. We can be a platform for good. We can offer a fun experience. I grew up obviously in England, and they used to have red letter days, and I think sometimes people in sports positions, we forget how privileged we are, and these sort of experiences aren't always offered. People are very closed doors, or tend to be, and they don't open themselves out to community. And there's this great mystique about it. And I think the best people I know in sports and in the game and in life in general are more open, more willing to share what is a true privilege and experience. So for me, and I know the staff and the organization, we try to do a lot of these types of things for charities and groups as much as we possibly can, and obviously with the restrictions, but hopefully they open up again. And we want to be welcoming. We want to be a group that makes every individual experience for fans or supporters or people who come into our club a proper one and an enjoyable one. Look at myself. I was born in Zambia, spent most of my life or early life in England, then went through the States to Canada. And we are the global sport. There's no getting away from it. If you look at other North American sports, they're participated at high levels in very few other countries. Soccer, there's 212 FIFA nations. And it's so multicultural. You don't just have to look at our team, and we've got Ghanaian, Portuguese, Spanish, Northern Irish, Venezuelan, Panamanian, Costa Rican, French Canadian. We've got such a multicultural. We've had Croatians, we've had Uruguayans, and I think when it is so global, then the platform of sport has to recognise social issues, and not just in this last year when systemic racism obviously is at the forefront. But if you look at exploitation of young people worldwide, and slavery and impoverished, that can happen through sport as well. And promises of young Canadians. FIFA are very keen, and some of the international player rules now on signing players into academies or bringing players into the country have got a lot stricter to make sure there's no exploitation of young people and their families with promises. So I think there's many connections intrinsically through football being the world's most popular sport, and these social issues we're hoping to combat and help eradicate. I can tell you, even when we were discussing the Black Lives Matter last year at the Island Games, and also the murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls, two real key social injustice and systemic racism issues that we tackled as a squad, the players would share stories. Wow. And like I say, we got the two Ghanaian boys, Rafahin and Solomon there. Even Stefan Sabaro grew up in the old Croatia, and the difference between the Serbs the Croats and the Bosnians, and he had a parent, one of each, and they've been exposed to unbelievable horrors through wars that lead to these types of issues of slavery. You know, Alfonso Davies has come out of a refugee camp. You know, what a great example to everybody, and the work he's trying to do. So it really is closer to home than you know people probably want to think about. And we're not immune to it, David, as you know, here in Canada. It's it's a big issue. So I think, you know, rightly so, all of us at Valor Football Club are keen to help out and contribute to the great cause with IJM.
Disney character.
Simba.
Okay. Dish.
Fish and chips.
Team.
Arsenal. Valor.
Hollywood star.
Mila Kunis. Is this to play me in a movie, or who I'd like to hang out with?
Netflix show.
The Crown. How's that for a British answer?
Oh, wow. Oh, yes. Well, thank you. We're really very encouraged just the way that Valor have taken on this sweepstake, and it's been great for us. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you for all the good work with the IJM, and Valor's happy to lead the charge as best we can.
To win this experience, you just go to the link here, and you can actually win other stuff as well. Many great gifts, including signed jerseys from Josh Morrissey of the Winnipeg Jets, Andrew Harris of Winnipeg Blue Bombers football team, and Austin Matthews of Toronto Maple Leafs, dare I say. So go to, again, this link, and do get your bids in before 11 o'clock on Friday, 23rd of April. All proceeds will go towards IJM's work rescuing people in poverty from violence and slavery. Thank you again for joining me on this vlog number 24, and take care, stay safe until I see you in a few weeks. God bless, bye-bye.